Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. So we're going to be actually installing the Grimmspeed intake for the Subaru BRZ, same one that fits the FRS and GT86. So let's go and take a look now at the intake and then we'll get it fitted. Okay, so what do we get in the kit? We've got all the bolts for the top around here that hold the lid on. Got a couple of Jubilee clips. So if we remove that, you can see we've got the big filter inside. We've already actually got the sensor installed, but all it is a couple of screws, and I'll show you how to remove it on that one anyway, but we've got that. Then we've got a solid intake pipe going over to the throttle body at the top, and a flexi join up here. So we'll use the Jubilee clips that are already on the engines to install this, which should be a pretty easy install from what I've seen. So let's first of all cover off removing the stock intake. Okay, so let's start removing this. First of all, there's a 10mm bolt here. Let's get that removed. And don't forget, we want to make sure we don't lose, so we'll put these to the side and keep these because we might need these for the new airbox you're installing. Now there's a second bolt over here, another 10mm. Let's undo him. That's holding this sound box over here on. Okay, so that's the two main bolts out. So that's pretty loose already. We want to remove this tube up here, so depending on whether Jubilee clips have been changed on your car, mine is an 8mm for this one on the throttle body, so that's nice and loose now. Then we have the sound generator as well. So let's disconnect it at this end, and I've actually undone some of these Jubilee clips already, so you can see that's undone. So let's pull that off there. So that's that one out. We'll put the Jubilee clip to one side so we don't lose it. Okay, so let's remove that pipe from the throttle body, so that's off. We've got these two bolts out. So we've got to undo these clips. So I'd get a pair of pliers and just pinch those. So I'll go and get a pair of pliers now. Okay, so it's just these clips here. So I'm going to undo this one. Pinch that, wrap it round. Make sure you don't lose it when you take this out. And this bit of plastic should just pull out. Oh, it's a bit tight. What we'll do for now, let's undo this clip. See if that's any easier to come out. Yep, straight out. Okay, so that's that off. That removed, two bolts. And then we just need to undo the plug for the sensor here. That's out. And there's actually a little plastic clip on the back of here to pull, and that comes out. And the whole airbox, nope, sorry, one more 10mm bolt just down at the back. I'll show you in here, just here. So I'm going to get a 10mm socket and just get that undone as well. Let's get that out. Nearly forgot that last 10mm. So remember, keep all your bolts to one side, because you may need them for installing your new airbox. Right, and out the old airbox comes, so it's as easy as that. So now you're left with a big gaping hole ready for your new intake. So apologies, the audio actually dropped on this section of the video, so I'll just talk it through. So you need to make sure that back bolt lines up with the bolt that you removed on the inside, so you reuse the 10mm bolt to attach that in place. So make sure it's lined up. Make sure your front snorkel that feeds the air from behind the bumper is also lined up with that rubber gasket around the front of the box. And then obviously you've got the top bolt on the left that needs to line up. So just making sure everything lines up and there's plenty of clearance. So let's get that first 10mm bolt in. Just do it up finger tight to start with, so it holds it in place. Then use your 10mm socket just to do that up and tighten it. Don't tighten it all the way just yet. in case you need any movement, but let's get it done so it's holding it in place. Next, get your second 10mm bolt and line up the hole at the back with the rubber in, and make sure that 10mm bolt goes through that and into the original bolt hole that you removed that bolt from originally on the original airbox. It's a little bit tricky just to get it all lined up and in there, but once it's in, get your 10mm socket again and just tighten it up. Again, we'll come back and we'll tighten all these bolts up at the end, but I've left them slightly loose just while you're working on everything. So that's that bolt done up. So I'm just putting my hand in there just to make sure that the snorkel lines up correctly, which it does. I don't think it actually pushes into the box, it just rests against the outside of it, which is why you've got that big rubber lip just to seal it up. Next, I'm just talking about the fact that the map sensor, to just attach your one from the stock airbox, you just do the 2 screws. You reuse the screws from the original airbox as well. You can see there, that's where it is located on the original airbox. You just switch that over. I was lucky enough, mine came with one from the person I purchased it off. Okay, so next we want to install our intake pipe onto our throttle body. So we've got that, and all we do is slide that on just like the standard one, and we've got again another Jubilee clip. So this is again, it's another brand new one that I picked up, and a little trick on this one is to make sure your Jubilee clips on this side so that you don't clash over here with the controls for your throttle body. So again, push that on as far as you can, then get your socket and start to do that up. Let's make sure that's in the right place. Get that done so it grips it in place. Okay, so we'll deal this after. This has just got to attach onto here, but we'll worry about that after. This cable needs to go inside this airbox. Is there going to be enough room? Oh, there is. So remove that rubber, and there's enough room to slide that in, so you're able to reconnect your sensor, and then just replace that piece of rubber trim back on. So that's just trying to keep it as airtight as possible and try and stop some of that hot air from the engine bay getting into your airbox, which is fed by your snorkel at the front. So we're attached here and here. We're attached at the front and down at the back, but we've not tightened those up yet. So that seems to be working at the moment. So what we'll do is we'll go start the engine now and just test it to make sure it's no error messages or anything like that. Okay, so let's have a bit of a sound clip now of the additional noise you'd get with the airbox we got. Right, so you can certainly hear that we're going to get some additional induction noise, although we've got a lid to go over the top of this to seal it all in so you're not getting any hot air in from the engine being sucked into your air filter. So what we'll do, everything seems to have tested all right, so we've got a couple of bits left to go, but let's get these 10mm done up first. We don't forget them. One. Okay, so that's those 2 bolts done up, so it's nice and securely in place. What we'll do next is get the lid on. Okay, so we've put the lid in place. bolts in. Right, okay. We've got 6 little bolts. Now these are brand new ones that I've brought because the original ones went missing when I purchased this used. So let's get that done up first. Just do them finger tight to start with, so you don't run the risk of cross threading. You might need to just push the box in slightly to line up the holes. Okay, final bolt. Now I think my box has probably got a bit out of shape when it's been in the post, etc. So it's a little bit tight to get this last bolt in. Let's give it a go. There we go, and we're in. Get these bolts done up. Okay, so that's our 6 bolts in. Our lid's nice and tight, so it's pretty good seal. So we're going to get plenty of air going into there. Okay, so the next bit we've got to do is actually, what I've done is use, so I'm assuming yours new will come with a piece of rubber here that you can attach to there. And what you do is just reuse the clip, the original clip that we removed. Give it a squeeze and pop it over the end there. Let's get that over. Squeeze. Move it all the way back. Get it done up. And let's get that clip back in place. So we need to secure this. So I'll see if I've got a small Jubilee clip or something. But you use something similar just to clip that back on. Okay, so one bit I just wanted to show you that I did off camera was this intake pipe here. We obviously had that bit of hose that we introduced. Now I don't have clips small enough for the hose because the diameter hose I used wasn't very thick. So what I've done is just secured that with 2 cable ties that I've just done really tight, so this isn't going anywhere. But that's something to remember when you're connecting yours up, is you need to make sure that you connect this vacuum hose here. However way you do it, if you get a new piece of pipe with the kit when it's brand new from Grimmspeed, mine was obviously used so I didn't come with it, so I've just done a make do with that and that works. And I'm never going to see that on mine anyway, so I'm not too worried about how it looks, because I'm actually going to have the Grimmspeed cover that goes across here, and that will cover all this up anyway. But I just wanted to point this out to you, that it's key to get this vacuum line attached, so make sure you remember to do this step. So we're attached to our throttle body. We've now got the vacuum line attached. This is all attached, sensors attached, airbox is all in, so we're looking good. The only thing we've got to remove is this old thing. And what's this? It's a sound generator. So I've undone this Jubilee clip up here, and you can remove that piece of pipe really easily. So Mishimoto do a sound generator delete kit, which just comes with a rubber bung. You can slot that over there. It's about £12–13, it's not expensive. And you can seal that up. That stops any smells from the engine bay actually going into the cabin, because all that does is pump sound through. what I'll probably end up doing is more of a thorough delete and actually removing this kit completely. But for now, for the purpose of the installation, that's a nice, simple and easy fix to be able to get that done. You can see we've got our intake box from Grimmspeed installed. And I think that was actually a really easy install compared to some lot of airboxes I've done on other cars. So really pleased with that, nice and solid. I think the bit that only let me down was not the kit itself, but the previous owner just not sending me all the right bits. So I've got a couple of bits missing, like this bit of tube that I'm assuming that you get with your kit. But at least it gives you an idea of how it's installed. So if you found the video useful, please hit that like button and subscribe for future updates on content. Just hit that notification bell and you'll get alerts every time we upload new content. So that's how to install the Grimmspeed intake. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next video. Thread bits, and there's actually little holes on the bottom.